What was the startup process like? How'd you build these
Yeah.
relationships?
So, people always ask me, like, how did you do it? You were 16. A big part of it was that I really see Champions of Care as my saving grace. Because when I decided to start the organization, I was in a very abusive relationship, sexually and physically, and actually ended up in a women's shelter for a weekend on my own because I was hiding bruises that I got from that relationship from my mom. And my mom was working her ass off to kind of push my sisters and I into this safer and more stable lifestyle. And I think I was really scared about telling her that because I think I felt a lot of guilt about it, and I didn't want her to feel that kind of guilt. And I was just really depressed at the time. I felt very helpless on, like, how can I help my family as a 16-year-old who's not really working? And I felt really voiceless, and I think that's what abuse does to you. And I actually grew up in a home of domestic abuse and was sexually abused growing up by my father. And so I think that it was really a dark time for me where I felt very depressed. I was struggling with self-harm, so I was cutting myself, and I just felt like I had a reason to punish myself. And so I think when I found this unaddressed natural need, I saw it as, like, my calling. I was like, this is what I meant to do. Like, I have a voice now. Like, and I think it was really realizing through talking with homeless women, like, I am so privileged. Like, I have a family, I am still going to school, and I have an opportunity to rise. And now I'm at Harvard, so I'm like, I have even more of a privilege and, like, an opportunity to give back. And so I was like, I'm gonna do something now. And then, like, realizing that me sending out one email can make a huge partnership. It was like really realizing that my voice mattered. So, like, when people ask me how I did it, I really can only think to say that I just did it. Like, I was so excited to, like, finally feel like I had a voice that I just did it. Like, I found one of my guy friends from school, his name is Vincent Foran, he's my co-founder and operations director. I literally went up to him randomly and said, this is my idea. Let me tell you what a period is, because you don't know what a period is. And we were 16, and then that weekend we met at a Starbucks. Mm-hmm. We sat there for 6 hours, and we built our whole business model, started the organization, registered, and then that weekend we were distributing 20 a week, and then it went 40 a week, and now we're at $1,500 a month, soon raising $3,000 a month. And so, like, we just grew exponentially because we just did it. Like, people said, how were you prepared? And we weren't. Like, that time in the Starbucks, we were researching questions like, what is a nonprofit? What is a board of directors? What is the IRS? Like, what does it mean to be a nonprofit with the IRS? Like, how do you start a nonprofit? And, like, I still look up questions that are like, what's a Form 990? Which is, like, a core thing of, like, what you need to know starting a nonprofit. Or I'll look up things like we have to write policies for our board. We have to, and I mean, I think this is kind of a mentality I have going into life, is that when you go through an experience where you feel voiceless, when you suddenly realize you have a voice, mm-hmm. you want to maximize it, and you don't want to waste any time doing it because you realize how precious time is. So, like, even now, I'm looking up questions of anything, like, and we're launching our policy program in the next couple months, which is creating a comprehensive toolkit that pushes forward 3 drafted pieces of legislation to make menstrual hygiene more accessible and eliminate the luxury tax around menstrual hygiene products. And to do that, we've created a comprehensive toolkit that has everything from communication materials to talking points to drafted legislation to the actual action steps of connecting legislators to youth leaders and to pushing for that change. And so that means we are drafting policy, we're looking up how we actually push policy, we're working with people who have experience with making policy, but it still means that I'm looking online, like, how does policy work? Like, what does a bill look like? And then I find out, and then I do it. Like, mm-hmm. I just do it, and I engage people in having that mentality of, like, don't have any fear, just do it. Like, if you need help, look it up. We have Google. Like, look it up, we can do it. And I think that's how I've been for a really long time. So that's how we started it.